back to the Isn't That Rich podcast. I'm your host, Jill Franks.
And I'm Ashley McVicker.
And I'm Jerry Gravatt.
And we're the marketing team here at Farmers State Bank. And today we're diving into one of the biggest questions that we get a lot at the bank. And it's surprising. And we get it from business owners, nonprofits, and community leaders alike. And that is, where do I start with marketing? So if you're a new business owner or you're a current business owner and you haven't taken the time to get into marketing, it's a fast-paced, ever-evolving topic. And I feel like there's always just a little bit of overwhelm when it comes to figuring out your marketing strategy. And today we're going to talk about 5 foundational steps that you can take right now to start figuring out your marketing strategy for your business.
Mm-hmm. I think marketing can feel very overwhelming, and in ways it is if you've never stepped into that world.
Yes. And there's so many different channels to marketing. It's hard to focus on just one thing, but we're going to kind of talk about 5 things you can do right now to get started.
Super easy.
Yeah. So Ashley, do you want to kick us off with what the first step would be?
Yes. So the first one is going to be your brand. I like to think of this as like an umbrella.
Yeah.
Kind of over everything, or maybe even like a funnel or a filter to view things through, or to do things through, create things through. So this is going to be your fonts, your colors, your logo, your voice, anything that people can look at you and recognize you with. It's pretty simple, but have you guys ever seen a company like on Facebook, maybe it's even a small business, and you're like, I couldn't tell if this was from this company or not because they've used 50 different fonts, 50 different colors, they changed their logo 40 times, and their voice is all over the place, and they just have no clear brand.
Right.
It's just not good for business. I can think of some companies that, this actually reminds me of that game. Do you guys ever play the game Logos?
Oh yeah, I love that game.
And so it may not have had the word on it, but you could look at some of these logos and be like, I know that's Target. I know that's Starbucks. I know that's Walmart. And so I think brand is just all about a consumer looking at your company and saying, I know this company because I know their colors, their logos, their fonts, their voice, and the things that they stand for and the things that they do.
Yeah, it's funny that you say that because I think I played that game before too. It's like,
I love that game, and I hate when I lose.
People, like, you can even look at, people started shortening their logos. Like I think about Lululemon Athletica was originally the brand name, right?
Okay.
And now all you see is that little symbol, and that's Lululemon, or even Nike, just do it. Now it's just the swoosh sign. So like throughout time, they've become so recognizable because of the consistency they have with their brand that they just become more powerful.
Yeah. I like to think of your brand as a handshake or like a first impression. So we know this, that people form an impression of you in the first 7 seconds of meeting you.
Yeah.
And so when you're thinking about your brand and you're presenting your brand to someone, think of it like the first impression, your handshake. What are you wanting people to think about you? And I said this at our seminar we did the other day, but I stood up and I said that first about the 7 seconds thing. And I said, you already have made a decision about whether or not you're going to listen to me or not because of what I look like, sound like, what colors I'm wearing, all of the things. And I think when people don't know anything about marketing, they just don't think that those things are important. But I think it's one of the most important things because, like I said, it's that umbrella or that filter that you're looking through.
Yeah. It's almost like creating this lens to everything.
Lens is another great word.
Yeah. So like anything your business does moving forward, your brand should kind of shape that. And your brand is that filter that you use.
Yeah.
To make a yes or no decision kind of, right?
Yeah. And I love to think about the voice with a brand because I know like at our bank, we have a particular voice. We have a very particular brand, as you know. And that's like, I think honestly, it makes marketing everything else so much easier because when we go to create an event or a graphic or a video or anything or our pylon signs, we know what kind of fonts we use, what kind of colors look good, and it just actually makes things a lot easier. And so when people are thinking of this, I want you to think branding is not a hard thing. Now, I think picking out your brand can be kind of hard because there's so many different options, right? And you can't overwhelm yourself with that. But it's definitely the first step for what we're talking about today.
Yeah. So getting your visual identity with your branding.
Yeah. And I think what I was saying about voice was like Farmers State Bank, we're very customer service oriented. So people know that we're very friendly. We're very helpful. We're very light and airy and positive. That is, we're not very stoic and serious as bankers, which like most banks are. That's not really our style. And that's what works for us. And I think that's why we stand out in our community, because we have kind of a different brand voice than other businesses. Definitely. So do you guys have anything else to add to brand?
I mean, if you think about, there's a million brands everywhere. It's so important to have like an identifiable brand because it's like a person, right? Because if you're too spread out, you're not going to be remembered. And so to have like a strong brand makes you more memorable. And as a business, you want to be memorable.
Right. Because at the end of the day, we want customers and we want sales. And if no one remembers you, they're not going to come back to your site. Yeah. They're not going to come back to your company. They're just not going to do it. They're going to go with someone that's more memorable, because I also think that brand conveys a message like we're here, we're around, we're consistent, we're present. Like it just conveys so many more messages underneath that you can't even really see. You know what I mean?
So if somebody was listening to this episode and they want to know how to strengthen their brand, what are the 4 things that they need to do? So first it was the visual identity, right? That you talked about with that. So that's the font and the logos and that kind of stuff.
Right. So that's your colors, your fonts, your logo, your photography style, even, you know, we have a specific filter we put on things. Just making sure that everything kind of matches and is cohesive.
So you set it up.
Like that.
You identify yourself with those things first.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I would say people are probably like, how do I keep track of this stuff? I know this is the easiest tool to use. We use Canva. We pay pro, and we have you're allowed to put a brand kit in there. So it's so easy. You just pop your colors and everything in. The second is define your brand voice. So are you casual and fun? Are you like warm and inviting? Like, are you very professional, stoic, stern, figure out that voice and kind of stick with that. And I say these things, it doesn't mean you can't deviate from your brand a little bit.
Yeah.
I even think around like holidays and stuff, maybe sometimes we've wanted to change our logo color to Christmas colors just to be festive. So it's not to say like, I can't put pink in this because pink isn't our color.
Right.
Well, it may look really good with that, and people can just make sure your brand is still identifiable, if that's a word. The third thing is to clarify your mission and values. I didn't talk about this, but this isn't just the fluff about who you are. I mean, this is like who you are, what you stand for, because let's be honest, like some people actually don't like our bank because like we stand for Christian values. We put Bible verses on our sign, and some people maybe don't want to bank with a bank that stands for Christianity, but we do. So I think it's just, I'm just using a specific example for ourselves, but maybe you don't care to shop at a certain place because of the values they have. So that's another part of your brand that you may not realize is your values and your mission and the things that you stand for. So make that really clear. I think make that clear for your employees too.
That's such a good point.
Because your employees are a big chunk of your brand if you do have employees.
Yeah, and I think about all the different companies, like you kind of mentioned before, like the slogans they have, just do it, Nike. Like what are some other really loud ones that stand out to you, right? That's the first one that comes to mind. But like ours is no one serves you better, right? So just having that clear statement or that mission, those values.
Yeah.
So people can relate to you.
And they know what to expect from you.
Exactly.
There's nothing worse than going into a company that says that they stand for something, or that's their, if Farmers State Bank said no one serves you better and we had the worst customer service.
Right.
Well, that's not cool.
Well, that goes back to just inconsistency. Like what do you expect from that company?
Right. Yeah. Remember, we're trying to be consistent.
Yep.
And then the fourth thing is write a simple positioning statement. So one could be, we help busy parents save time with meal prep kits that actually taste good. It's just these simple kind of statements. Maybe that's not your slogan. It's more of a long form statement about who you really are.
Yeah. Telling your people what you're about.
Yeah. So what's the next one, guys? That's brand.
The next one is going to be your website, which is basically like your digital front porch. And we're always preaching about the importance of a website. So 97% of all people admit to doing research for a business or organization before even visiting that, which is a high number. 75% of people admit to judging a company's credibility based on its website alone. Also an extremely high number. So the truth of the matter is, like, if your website's confusing, not easy to navigate, you can't find the information you need, people are going to move on. Right?
They're going to move on so fast because I know that I do.
I mean, that's the first thing I look up is somebody's website. And if you don't have a credible website, I'm done. Like, I'm sorry that my decision is made about you.
I'm a super judgy consumer.
Same.
You know what I mean? I am, and I'll admit it. And you know what? We're not the only ones.
Yeah.
And I can tell you, there's a lot of websites locally here, and you're just kind of like mortified, and you see, and you're like, oh my gosh.
You're like, where's your phone number?
No taste, like nothing. It's like, what's the point of having this? If, you know, when we do events, we reach out to businesses and we go to their website because that's how we assume you can get a hold of somebody. But a lot of them are just non-existent, or you can't find information.
Or it's so old.
You almost think it's filled with stock photos and you think it's like a scam.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah.
So these are really important things to focus on, because like Ashley was saying, like the first impression, a lot of times your website is going to be your customer's first impression. So what does that look like?
Yeah.
So I know a lot of local businesses here, they think marketing is just using their Facebook. Marketing is not just Facebook. In fact, you don't even own all of your social media accounts. The algorithm could get changed. They may hide your post based off what you're saying. You may get hacked. I mean, I had a business, we had 10,000 followers on Facebook. I really depended upon Facebook to communicate to my customers and to share about our products. Got hacked like that. Before I knew it, someone was selling Vietnamese clothes and I had no access to it. And to get a hold of Meta and to dispute all that is literally impossible.
Yeah.
So that was a huge wake up call, because you're like, wow, that I actually was totally outside of my control. And then you realize, what are the things that we can control? And that's the things are like our website and our email list.
Yeah.
And so even as the bank, we realize like these are things that we can control. So we want to drive all of our traffic to our website, to our email list, to our event registration links, things like that.
Yeah. You know, it's so funny. We just spent some time remodeling our deck. And this was the hardest thing for me, is that none of the contractors in our area, you think it would be a really common thing. Oh, we replace your decks. Like I found 2 deck replacement services. One was in Mount Vernon, one was in Paducah. I actually reached out to them, and I know there are hundreds of people around here that, I mean, how hard is it to replace? Yeah. I mean, there's got to be contractors out there that do this, but I couldn't find a single one. I couldn't reach out. I literally could not find a contact to replace our deck. And there was some on Facebook, but then it's like, well, how good of a job do they actually do? Are they legitimate? So I didn't use them. I ended up going word of mouth from a friend, but I mean, yeah.
And like Google is so important. Like if I can't find out what you do, what you're about, how to contact you on those things, it's like people don't know you exist.
Right.
You may be the best at what you do, but if you're not putting yourself out there, people aren't going to do it. We actually had a conversation about that. Like we've noticed some people locally get hired that maybe aren't the best, but they're really good about putting themselves out there. And we're like, man, they're busy, you know, but they're like, their work's not that great, but there's something to be said there, right? Like, that's the truth of it. If you're not putting yourself out there, people aren't going to know or be able to reach out to you. So I want to talk about things that your website must include. So if you're listening to this, you own a business, you have a website, take special note of this. So an important one is going to be your homepage. This is a spot where you want to greet visitors and have like a clear sentence about what you offer and how you can help. The next one's going to be and about us. So this is a great way where you can share your story, you can introduce your team. People buy from people they trust. And especially I think in the Southern Illinois community specifically, we really do care about that like community aspect and to feel connected, so-and-so, their family, like we really care about those things. And so this is a really important one where you can share about like your culture, your team, your story, your family.
Your mission and values,
Yes,
those
exactly.
branding things that are really important.
Yeah, you got to market yourself in that way. That one's going to be service or products. So detail your main offerings with clear explanations or pricing when possible. Another one's going to be location and hours. So make this part really easy to find. This is actually going to be one of the most visited parts of your website is where you're located, your hours, and how people can contact you. So like a phone number or an email. Important. We can't stress that enough, right?
I think you should talk about the event we just had and like how hard it was to contact people because of this.
So we did a church financial health seminar, and we're like, we're going to reach out to every church in Southern Illinois. And if you're from Southern Illinois, you're listening to this, there's a church on literally every corner.
Right?
There's hundreds and hundreds of churches.
Hundreds.
We targeted them. We're like, this is going to be a breeze. We went to their websites. Many didn't have websites. It was so awful trying to get a hold of the churches, even just like a phone number or an email. I mean, it was like pulling teeth to try to find anybody in these organizations to just get a hold of these churches. And we were really only able to reach like a very, very small percentage.
I think there were like 50 that we actually, and even their addresses weren't updated. Like their mailing address, we tried to send like a physical invitation to them. And I mean, thankfully a girl on our team took a hold of it and was able to do some research, but we couldn't even mail them an invitation because the addresses for the church is wrong. So if somebody's trying to visit your church on a Sunday, well, good luck because your address is wrong on your website. Crazy.
It's astronomical because you're like the whole purpose is to be like accessible to people like wanting
Very
to find
people-centric,
you.
yes.
But it's literally the opposite. And so it's just kind of like, all right, we need like a wake up call here. And you could be like, well, I'm focusing on like the preaching and this, but like, again, if people can't find you, how are they going to know if they can't hear, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So these are super important things. Another one's going to be testimonials or reviews. So 93% of people say online reviews impacted their buying decision. I don't think people realize how powerful a positive review can be or a testimony from a really pleased client. It's one thing if I'm like, hey, I'm really awesome and you need to buy my product because I'm awesome. It's another thing if I'm a friend and I'm like, I bought this product from so-and-so and it was absolutely incredible. You have to go buy that. That's way more impactful and believable than saying it yourself. So get those reviews, gather those up and put those on your website.
Yeah, I think that's reviews are such a powerful message. And have you seen this? Like it always comes around like Small Business Saturday or whatever. It's like, one thing, the free things that you can do for small business in your area is give a great review. It's such a powerful thing. And if you are a fan of a small business and you haven't given a great review, go out and do it. I just encourage that because it meant the world to me when we would get great reviews. So and we had a whole episode about our little small businesses. And when I got a great review, I was like, like it brings people to tears. I'm not kidding you. Even when we get Google reviews here with the bank where we share it with every single person, people don't realize how much it means. So
I love this thought that your website's a 24/7 employee.
That's good.
They are working on your behalf and always available for anybody who's looking at your company. They're there to greet them, all the things, take their information, take a lead. And so make sure that website is
That's so good.
And also I think really people think websites, there is sometimes some cost to a website depending on the level of caliber, if you will, that you want your website to look like. But it's 2025. There are so many companies out there that have the easiest websites to create, plug in stuff, plug in a graphic, plug in a link, it's not that hard. I think people get overwhelmed and feel like I have to hire a web designer and that's super expensive. And it's just not necessarily the case anymore.
It's true.
I know we even looked at a couple for our small businesses like Squarespace, and I know Showit's another good one. They have templates for you to use where you just literally drag and drop.
They're so easy.
They're user friendly. So creating your website, get your domain, sign up. It's not hard.
Yeah. Super easy. Another one, this was kind of a pet peeve of ours, is using real photos. So skip stock images, show your real space, show your team.
And don't you feel like everyone has the same stock image? I have seen this one house that we sometimes use on advertising in the Blue House, in other advertising. I'm like, I know this is a stock image. Now everyone's using this photo.
I mean, for sure. But especially when it comes to people and your team, use real photos of people. They want to see that. Yeah. Next is going to be blogger news. So even this podcast, we have a link on our website where we have a blog, and then you can also access the Apple, Spotify, and YouTube link as well. We try to direct, even with this podcast, everyone to our website, but that's a great way to, whatever your business is, to kind of share what you're doing, what you're about, to get even a little more personal in that aspect.
Yeah.
And then last is going to be online payment or booking. That's super important. Whatever your business is, it's a really great to have an area where people can just pay online. You're going to get a lot more business that way. So, so businesses that accept payments or booking online see a 20 to 30% increase in conversion rates. So that's pretty amazing. It just goes to show how important it is to have all of those things on your website.
Yeah. I think making it mobile friendly is really important too. When you're looking at your website, most people, like you've said this so many times, Jared, is like everybody's on their phone nowadays. They're not like on their desktop Googling. And so if your website's not mobile friendly and you miss the mark there, I feel like you have a lot of improvement. That's one thing you could do today.
Everyone's on their phones.
Yeah.
And then, of course, like your Google business profile. I know we kind of mentioned that, but there's Google, Yelp, Bing, Apple Maps, social platforms. Those all impact your rating as well. So just make sure all those are up to date with your hours and locations. And if that ever changes, please do that. I mean, I've seen restaurants change and move and they haven't updated those things. And you're
let us know your holiday hours.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Where were we? So I don't think a lot of people know that businesses know this. I feel like we should spend maybe just a little more time talking about that. So when you do go on a search platform like Google, we've mentioned Google how many times in this episode already. People type in your name and the first thing that pops up is like the place of business. It might not actually be your website, but it will have a link to your website on your listing within Google. So making sure your hours are updated within Google. So Google has one, Bing has one. What else are the other platforms?
Well, Bing is Apple Maps.
Yep. So Apple
Bing
Maps.
is Apple. So it's just those
two. So if
two.
you use like Safari.
Safari is Bing.
Yeah. So if you are using Safari as your web browser, then you would get the Bing. So you have to make sure Bing is updated as well as Google.
So then you got to make a Bing account.
Yeah. So
who uses Bing? I guess we do at work.
We do. Yeah, we have to. But you can also upload photos. So those same photos that you're putting on your website or your Facebook or social media, you should upload those to your Google account as well as your Bing account, just so those stay updated too. Because that's the first thing that's going to get pulled up is that Google search. And then they can find your website. But
yeah, that's good.
And I know we just had a customer in the other day. They're like, your hours are wrong. And we're like, what the heck? Are they really wrong? So we went on our website. We're like, no, they're up to date on our website. But it turned out they were on our Google and they didn't scroll down to our drive-through hours to see what our drive-through hours were. So they were correct, but it made me double think, like, where on earth could they be finding incorrect hours? There are more than one place to find it. So I love the website. I think if you don't have a strong website, then that's the number one thing to fix.
Yep, I agree.
It doesn't have to be fancy. We just said, what are the 5 things, Jared, again? The about us, the homepage, the hours. Like, just make sure you have those key things.
main thing is location, hours, contact, and I would say just your about me. So people know what you are, what you do, and how they can reach you.
Who, what, when, where, why.
Yep.
Yeah.
How can you forget that?
Yep.
You learned that in second grade.
So step 3, after you get your branding strong and your website, it's going to be your customer relationship management. And I feel like we lose so much traction with our customers by not following up with them. So they could visit your website, they could flirt with you all day, they could stop and have a great meal at your restaurant. But if you're not following up with these people, then you are missing half the battle. Like if you want repetitive customers, and that's the easiest way to keep them, right? Is if people are coming back time and time again. So a good customer relationship management system, I know it sounds corporate and it doesn't have to be that, but it's just not losing track of your people. So imagine someone walks into your business, loves the experience, and then signs up for more information. Maybe you have like sign up for our newsletter sitting by your cash register, and they actually fill that out, but you never reach back out to them.
Or you don't actually have a newsletter.
Yeah. Or, you're not sending it or being consistent with how you're interacting with your customers, then it just is a missed opportunity. And it happens all of the time. But a CRM or customer relationship management software helps you stay connected and follow up with those people. And it just is intentional. Mm-hmm. And it doesn't have to be cold or, like, here's another text message that you're getting from some computer system. It can be super intentional. Here's what it can look like. So a good policy is to have a welcome series. So someone comes into our bank, we call it our 3-touch give, or we even have a welcome email system that we set up. So the first week, they right after they open an account with us, they might get an email that says, "Welcome to Farmers State Bank. We're so glad that you placed your trust in us to be your place of banking." And then a week later, we'll get an email to them. Maybe it'll give them some online banking tips or help them sign into. And Ashley, you created ours, so maybe you can help me with what we do, what our 3 touches look like. But they just want to continue to welcome them and give them steps to how they can feel more confident with us.
I think, once again, I'm going to talk about brand. It's kind of like another, hey, this is who we are. Mm-hmm. And we see you and we love that you're a customer and we want to keep you.
Yeah.
And so not only are we welcoming you, but we're also saying, here's some other things that you may have missed that you may like. Yeah. And so our emails that go out are like, you may need to do direct deposit. It's super easy. This is how you do it. We want to make things so easy too. And I think that's also a big part of CRM is making actions easy for your consumer.
Yeah.
So if I wanted them to, let's say they signed up for a checking account, but maybe they would get more bang for their buck if they had a savings account paired with it. Well, I've presented the opportunity to them to do that. Or maybe they didn't have time to download our mobile app when they were sitting, because life is busy and sometimes you don't have an hour to sit down on a new account opening.
Yeah.
So it's just a series that tells them all of the opportunities that they have to bank with us.
Yeah. And as a business, it's a great opportunity for cross sales. So maybe, like you said, they opened a checking account. They didn't know we offer savings. Well, here's your opportunity to say, here's a savings account you could utilize as well. Or have you signed up for e-statements? Because that's so much better for you or safer for you. And it's $2 less a month for each customer on Farmers State Bank if you have e-statements. So all of those things are an opportunity to cross sell.
So then once they're through that welcome series of 8 emails, and I know it sounds like a lot, but think of how many emails you get every day from Wayfair emails me probably 5 times a day. And I'm like, you're right. I do need that umbrella.
I got targeted for this inflatable bar. And I'm like, what in the heck is this?
Oh, Jill's so influenced. So if your company listening, put her on your list.
I clicked on the email, it influences you to click on the email and take action. And that's what it's all about when you have a new customer, is getting them to become more sticky, right? So the more chances you can touch them, the better.
Yeah. So. And then after our emails go out, they're automatically put, because this is how CRMs work, like the actual software, then it puts them into basically another bucket, if you will, to be in our newsletter on Friday, so that then they get to see what products we're offering, what we're doing in our community, if we're hiring, like all of these fun things that we do at our bank, we want them to get to know us and be like, I don't want to leave their bank because they are awesome.
Yeah, they're so enrolled with us that they want to take part in everything we do.
I know everything about them. I know who they are, and that's the point of that. So.
Yeah, so the welcome series is super impactful. Another thing, it segments your people. So your CRM puts them in different buckets, like you said. So maybe they're in their 30s and they're looking to buy their first home, or maybe their birthday is coming up and you want a reminder email about that. Maybe you can give personal check-ins every year. So you can segment your new customers to do different things during different times. So a good CRM software allows you to do that. It also allows you to send text reminders. You know, you get that. My favorite text reminder is my dentist will send me a reminder a week ahead of time. And then the day before, like, hey, your appointment's at 8:30 tomorrow. Wouldn't that be so great if every business had that ability? Like, hey, we're offering this tomorrow. You might as well come in. We'll mention this code and we'll give you a free cupcake if you're a bakery. Like just thinking of all the different ways that you can use it.
Well, Jill, with appointments, I think to me personally, that's my expectation of a good business now is that they're going to take care of my appointment and when I'm supposed to be there and remind me because my life's busy.
Yeah.
I think as businesses, we have to take on that responsibility or you're going to miss a lot of people.
Yep.
That's good.
That'll preach.
That'll preach.
And a CRM system doesn't have to be complicated. Like we mentioned a lot of different ways you can utilize it. It can just be the very basic ones to start out with, like welcoming them and reminding them that you're there for them.
Yeah.
So, yeah. What's the fourth step, Ashley?
So the fourth step in our little marketing checklist we're doing today it sounds simple, but community outreach.
Right.
I think about businesses that are out in their community. They're buying the ball league t-shirts and their logos on it, or they're hanging the banner at something, or they've donated to something, or they're doing some sort of give back to their community. You know, community outreach is huge because it shows people, it's not like, look at me and look at what we do. Cause I know people get, a little worked up about stuff like that, but it is saying we're here. We love our community. This is how we service our community and serve our community. And this is how other people can kind of get involved with us too. So we're more than just a business. We're an engine in our community of change. And I can't think of anything better that would make me want to go to a business that I know is, well, they're giving 2% of their sales back to XYZ, I just think you have to be a part of your community and have to have a heart of generosity and service. I think that takes your business truly to the next level in terms of marketing. Also, once again, it's not to be seen. It's not to be like, look at us, but it's a great way to market your business. It's a great way to show off your staff, the things that you all do. Because sometimes, we know at the bank, we always say this, I can work anywhere after working at a bank and doing marketing to promote stuff because I am so almost in a box with checking account, savings account, and a loan, Yeah. And so sometimes if you feel like maybe you don't have a lot of content to post, this is another great way just to promote your business and who you are and what you stand for in your community.
Yeah, I feel like the community involvement tells a story. It's not just, like you said, we're a bank, but what else does a bank do? Well, most of the time it's giving back to its community in a lot of different ways. Maybe it's a sponsorship, maybe it's a charitable giving, maybe it's volunteer opportunities. Well, showcase that so people who want to know, that align with your values can see that publicly. Like, I want to be a part of that tornado victim relief, or I want to help with this in this way on that coat drive for Christmas, or whatever it might be. It allows your community, your entire customer base to get involved as well.
Yeah. And I said this before, and I like what I said. Like, you are an engine in your community. Yeah. People rely so much on businesses and business owners to donate to the scholarships, to donate to the tornado relief, to donate to whatever you can think of. It's always the businesses that get hit up. And so if you're getting hit up, do a good job, with it.
Yep.
That's true.
Yeah. It's more fun.
Thank you, Jared.
We're going to talk about social media now.
I think it's the big bad wolf, don't you? Yeah.
Social media. So showing up where people are scrolling. A lot of people are on social media, but I think businesses, I see they keep making this common mistake. It bothers me. They treat their social media like a bulletin board, and only a bulletin board. The only time when they post is just about random information or something they're doing, which is fine. I think that that's okay to do that in moderation, but you have to ask yourself, why are people on social media? They're on there to be entertained, to feel connected to others, or to feel inspired, right?
Right.
Any others you want to add to that? But are you scrolling social media to find like bulletin board stuff?
Well, she's just looking for Chrisley knows best.
Stop.
But that's the truth of it. And
They're innocent.
Oh, gosh. So you have to meet people where they're at and what they're wanting. And so, you know, we try to do that at the bank. Like we'll try to incorporate all three, you know, like I think last week, Ashley and I posted a funny video with like a clip from Schitt's Creek, you know.
And it got more likes than anything else we've ever posted.
The entertaining stuff always gets more likes than when we're just posting something as like an announcement.
Yeah.
You know, and when we post, you know, not saying that everything we do is perfect. We're still learning. I think we're like open to our own feedback. We're like, man, we've been doing this type of post. It's just not working. It's not getting the
no one saw
traction and attention. We need to like pivot a little bit. So we're always kind of challenging like our own approach, and the algorithm's always changing, and generations are different of like what they're looking for. So you constantly have to evolve and meet people where they're at. So, but I think that can be very intimidating when something like social media is constantly changing, constantly evolving, right? And if you're not good at social media, that can be also really intimidating. So we'll give some helpful tips that you can maybe write down that can be an easy approach on what to do. So another one, I think a lot of times when it comes to social media or posting or videos, they think they have to have like a $5,000 production team commercial to come in and curate these videos. And that's just not necessary.
Yeah.
You got an iPhone.
You got an iPhone. You have an amazing tool, or an Android. I don't know.
Maybe your Android's good too. I don't know.
To do it, people just want authentic.
Yeah.
That's the main thing they want. They want authentic, they're real. And the truth is they have short attention spans. If you're rambling on for 5 minutes, you've lost those people scrolling. So you got to have like a strong hook. You got to just capture their attention within the first 5 seconds. But I mean, it doesn't have to be polished or perfect. Just authentic and real and connect. People want to connect with you. So hopefully that relieves like a little pressure for those of you who are like listening that feel a little like daunted by social media. It doesn't have to be perfect.
And I'm so thankful that social media has gone this direction, the authentic, rather than that perfect Pinterest vibe. Or like remember when Instagram was like, you have to have the perfect grid.
Right.
I'm so glad that it's gone this direction for authenticity.
Oh, I remember, Jill, when I first started working at the bank, Jared, so you didn't work there yet. We would post green, then a color, then a green block, then a color.
Because that's what it was.
And Jill and I would be like, wait, are you making the green block today? And we would like go back and forth. It was really stressful. Yeah. So I'm glad too.
Well, even when we started this podcast, I remember we had to have like the formal business outfit, and we still dress up for our podcast, but I'm not too worried if my lip gloss is not on. So, you know what I mean? Just because people are looking for the authentic.
I'm thinking about my lip gloss today on my tooth.
I know, but I just am thankful.
They make so much fun of me, guys. It's like I'm abused. It's awful.
But that also kind of transitioned to the branding. You want to be cohesive. And oh my gosh, I am a millennial, so everything has to be like aesthetic and cohesive for me. Gen Zers don't care as much.
No.
But, you know, you do want to be excellent in what you do. But
And I think there's a difference between what we post on our website, so it's cohesive and on brand, than what we post on our social media. It gives you a little more flexibility to have that. Yeah.
I think of social media kind of like bubble gum, right? Like your
Okay.
website.
Okay, explain this. I've not heard this one, Jared.
Here
Jared's
we
always
go with
got
my
an analogy
Here
that
we
we
go.
don't know.
Your website is like a steak dinner. Like it needs to be
Beefy.
it needs to be beautiful. It needs to be good. It
Mashed
needs to be
potatoes.
done right. It needs to be a fancy restaurant.
That's good.
Your social media is kind of like bubble gum. You know, when you put some bubble gum in your mouth, it tastes really good for maybe 30 seconds.
Yeah.
And then you kind of lose the flavor and then you're on to the next thing. And it's kind of the same thing. It's
Okay.
like, you know, people are scrolling. You got to realize that people are scrolling. You're not the only thing that they're being exposed to. So you want to make sure that you're having like a good impact within a minute long or less than a minute. But it kind of goes away after a while. So you need to keep posting. So if we just made one great post a month,
Yeah.
that's not going to cut it. You got to get yourself out there. You got to keep putting yourself out there, make those posts. They don't have to be the steak filet mignon dinner
Every single time.
but a piece of bubble gum is going to have a 30
I
second.
disagree. I think your social media is your appetizer. It's your spinach artichoke dip.
Finish an artichoke dip.
I don't know.
Because they're hungry.
Okay,
They're hungry and they're starving and they want the
That's
bread.
true.
You know, they want
Give
to
me
eat.
that bread basket.
Yeah.
Okay.
No,
I'm smart, Jared.
they are the tortilla chips. You know,
They are chips and salsa and guac.
And yes,
You got it.
Can we get some more chips here?
Get some more chips. We like lots of chips.
Okay.
Give them lots of chips.
Okay.
I'm on. I
don't know where the bubble gum thing came
I don't know.
from.
Sorry, guys. I'm not the best analogies, but just post. And so, so ones that I think are really important to post on is going to be Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube. These are platforms that are going to could grow your business. I mean, things go viral like that. I mean, businesses. I've seen such funny videos from businesses that I'll get inspiration from, and they have millions of views. You know, and it's just some like pancake shop in God knows where. But I'm like, I want to go there now. You know what I mean? So, social media can be huge for your business. Let's talk about what you should post.
This is the hard part. I feel like most businesses are like, I'll do it. I'm open to it, but I don't know where to go from here.
Yeah.
And yeah, it can be a little overwhelming.
So we've kind of put this into 5 categories to make this easier for you guys. First one's going to be educational. So tips, FAQs, how-tos, product explanations. We try to do that ourselves, where we talk about different products. I think even at one point we like, here's how you navigate our mobile banking app, like things like that. You can do that. That can be helpful. Another one's going to be entertaining. So fun facts, bloopers, behind the scenes, team antics. Like I know you've seen us do just kind of goofy stuff sometimes.
The Schitt's Creek.
The Schitt's Creek voiceover.
Yeah.
They're really easy. It took us, what,
Antibiotics.
10 minutes to do it. And, you know, people are always, when we're out in public, not that we're like famous, but people are like, oh, we loved your video. You guys are so funny. You know, they can have a big impact. So try it out.
I have to tell you this because I was laughing so hard. Tom and I were on an airplane last week or a couple weeks ago, and we were flying back, and this girl stops me on the airplane, and she's like, "Hey, I follow your stuff. I'm not kidding you."
That's crazy.
She's from Alto Pass, so small world.
Wow.
Yeah.
But she's like, I watch your stuff. I recognize you. We've never met, but this is who
that's
I am.
awesome.
Isn't that so funny? So you can be anywhere and you
is
can be
amazing.
recognized for what you're putting
I
out
would
there.
love to get recognized
I
on
was
the airplane.
hiking at Inspiration Point, and this couple comes up and they go, "We love your podcast." I was like, "Wow,
Wow,
Hey, good for you too.
yeah. But it just goes to show that people see your
Yeah,
stuff if you're
yeah.
putting it out there consistently.
No, it's true.
Yeah, sorry.
So, no, it's good.
I haven't told you guys that yet.
It's amazing how like encouraging that can be when
It
people say
is.
that. So
Yeah.
take a risk, be goofy, be silly, be fun. It, may flop, it may not. Another one's going to be emotional. So customer stories, testimonials, community impact. If you're a business that really cares deeply about getting involved in the community, humanitarian efforts, like things like that. Share those things. I think people want to feel connected to that. I know you had kind of mentioned that before. Another one's going to be engaging. So polls, questions, giveaway, trending challenges. You really want to get people to like comment. So polls and things like that, or even asking questions to get people to engage with you is also going to be helpful in the algorithm. As an example, Ashley was selling a bunch of stuff from her house and it wasn't doing well, right?
Okay, that's super rude.
No, it's
Oh,
okay.
this is
We're
so
being
funny.
honest. We're being transparent here.
Yeah.
It wasn't doing well. And so, but she
It's not because I have bad stuff.
No one wants her pillows.
Well, you realize
Someone bought them yesterday, Jill. Thanks.
you realize that the algorithm wasn't putting it out. And
Because
you
I don't
know
post a lot.
That when people
Yeah.
comment,
It boosts your post.
it boosts it. So she texted me. She goes, "Will you comment on my posts?"
Yeah, I was texting everyone from work. I was like, could you please put like a period dot in there to look like you're interested in my clothes?
And I did, and it helped. And so I take full credit. I think you should give me like 20% commission
Okay,
off
no.
of what you sold.
I deleted your comment actually.
But it helps. So even if you have family and
Engagement
friends
boosts
that
everything.
support you,
Yeah.
encourage them to engage with you.
Because it tells Facebook or whatever, it says, this post is interesting. Other people may like
Yep.
it too.
Yeah, we've even ran
Shoot
this
it to
like
the top.
Yep.
I remember we gave out awards when we were really trying to get some social media. So we have these quarterly celebrations and we gave out an award for the employee who engaged most with our social media for that quarter. And we might bring this back
Oh,
because
that's
I feel
awesome.
like, but it just helped boost our stuff so much when they would comment or
We
share.
need to do that
or-
again.
So let's bring
I
it
like that.
back.
We'll
But
bring it back.
you could
That's
do that
good.
with your or your employees too. Run a little competition.
That's
get some
a good
engagement
idea.
going.
Really good
Great
idea.
Anyway,
I love that.
thanks. Yeah. We'll
gonna do that.
do it again.
Another one's going to be promotional. So events, new offerings, limited type deals. I think this is where businesses default to.
Yeah.
But I think that should not be the default. But you should post those things.
It's funny. I read somewhere, and it's the 80-20 rule once again, that you should do 80% fun, 20% promotional with your social media. So
love
maybe
that.
that's a good
a great rule of
to
thumb.
follow.
Yeah.
If you're looking.
I think it's great. I think of like, I'm off topic, but even like the Savannah Bananas
Oh, I love
baseball
them.
team.
Yeah.
They're always doing like social media trends and stuff. They're not even playing baseball in their videos and they're going like totally viral.
Yeah. Now you can't even get a ticket
Because
to
they're
their
just having
game.
fun. And now, it's
Yeah.
like impossible to get
They're
a
on
ticket.
tour. Yeah.
So yeah, you have a business and the topic around your business is this, but sometimes in some weird way, if you do something totally left field outside of the box, it will drive people to that business.
Yeah.
Right. So just think outside
Well,
the
and
box.
honestly, if something goes viral and they kind of engage with it, like you're more likely it's more likely that something of yours will be shown to them again.
Right. Right.
Yep.
If you send them a flop and they don't engage with it, they're probably not going to see your stuff again.
It's true.
AI is too smart for us.
So the golden rule is to lead people somewhere. So for us, we want to lead people to our website. So a lot of times when I post on our story, I'll maybe post a clip from the podcast, but you'll notice I'll have a link that says, more helpful tips here. And when you click it, it'll take you to our blog or things like that. So don't be afraid to add links that are going to direct people to the places that you want them to go, whether that's your product, your website, an event, things like that.
Yeah. I think it's important to share too, as business owners, we don't like, it might not be our gift to be like in social media, but you might have other employees that it is their gift and maybe they can help you out. Like, don't be afraid to give the customer service rep your iPhone or access to your social media account to take some videos throughout the day. People want to see behind the scenes stuff. They want to know like what's actually happening in your place of business. Like maybe if you're running an auto body shop, you could show them the cool test analysis that you're doing. I mean, there's so much content out there that you're doing anyway or you're creating anyway. You just need somebody who has the mind to like, oh, let's film this while we're doing it.
Right.
So ask people
It's good.
that work with you to help.
So that was number 5. Those are my social media tips. Hopefully that was helpful to you guys listening.
Really good. Yeah. And it's just ever changing. So just stay on top of it. I think that's the best piece of advice.
And we subscribe to different newsletters and things that kind of talk about things that are changing and evolving, and to stay up to date with that can be also helpful.
So I'll recap us real quick. We said really great tips today, 5 of them. And so the first one is start with your brand. Remember, it's that lens everybody is looking through. If you just start with that, funnel everything through that, I have no doubt in my mind you will find success. The second one is build a clear and helpful website with all of the things that Jared talked about, homepage, location, all the things that people need from you. It's your steak dinner, like you said. 3 is use a customer relationship management service to keep track of your customers and create long-term relationship with them. Number 4 is to show up in your community. So be out there serving. Number 5, bring your social media to life. The bubble gum, as Jared says. Yeah. I think those are great 5 to start with.
Yeah.
And you just practice and you'll get better. And I think it's really going to help people's businesses if they just kind of stick with those 5 core things.
Yep. Definitely.
I think,
go ahead.
So, even like yesterday, Ashley and I, we printed out a calendar, and each day we just kind of wrote down what we wanted to post that day. So I think it's helpful to organize, like maybe come up with like a content calendar that's good accountability for yourself, just to kind of see that out there and what that looks like can be helpful.
I love it. So hopefully this is helping you with your marketing strategy, and you've got a few places to start with the 5 foundational marketing strategies we use. Thanks for listening. We'll see you next week.
So Jill, where do we go from here?
Be sure to check out our show notes for this episode, and also be sure to follow us on social media and subscribe to our newsletter. We'll see you next week.
See you next week.